Welcome to a conversation on AI. Stay here for some important updates on AI and how it's impacting the entire workforce. It's also something that I'm personally fascinated by and can't wait to learn more about it from our friend Ross today. With me is my esteemed co-host, Beth Adkisson, a highly decorated Vistage chair. She is a master chair and the best practice chair overseeing all of Orange County. Beth and I chair CEO and executive peer groups in partnership with Vistage. With us is another esteemed colleague, Ross Hartmann. Ross is CEO of Kingo AI. He's also a new speaker for Vistage and just won the award for Best New Speaker. I actually feel very honored to be sitting with two award-winning leaders in their respective industries. I'm Tani Minnick, also a chair and CEO of peer groups and a Pinnacle Business Guide. Beth and I are always really excited to speak with Ross. He has been to our groups and is one of the few speakers that I know my group likes to have come again and again, because he's not only a software architect, but also a Dale Carnegie coach. It's really a unique combination, and I can attest he's both brilliant and a pleasure to work with. We're actually having Ross come to an event that we're having on May 22nd in Newport Beach that Beth will share a little bit more with you later on. So before we start, I want to share a recent quote that I found to be foundational and really demonstrates the impact of AI. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, says this: AI is one of the most profound things we're working on as humanity. It's more profound than fire or electricity. I mean, besides water, what could be more important than fire or electricity? And Ross, I'm wondering, what's your take on that? And how are you seeing AI evolve?
Yeah. So really great stuff, honestly. When you think about what AI is and what the goal is with it, the goal is truly intelligence, right? So it's almost like how valuable is intelligence in terms of what we have? I think we all understand it's pretty valuable. But if you could build it at scale and even allow it to grow a little bit beyond human intelligence, at least that's one of the goals. If you can get that, you can start to automate so much value, create so much value in the world. You could speed up scientific discovery, scientific research. You can do repetitive tasks, all that kind of stuff. And it's funny because the stated goal of a lot of AI researchers is, yes, to get AI to discover that, but they actually want to use it for medical breakthroughs. They want to use it to cure cancer. They want to use it to elongate lifespans. And that's why they want to use AI. So it's a great quote that kind of sums up the goal of a lot of AI researchers.
That's great. Wonderful. So how are you share with us then how you're seeing the evolution, the progress of AI?
Yeah, I like to show this in my Vistage talks. It's kind of amazing. I show a video of where AI video was in April 2023, and I don't know if anyone's seen Will Smith eating spaghetti. It's kind of wild. It's not great, admittedly, but it was amazing at the time. And then you look at where we are today with Sora, the new video released by OpenAI, that actually Tyler Perry was planning an $800 million studio that after he saw Sora, he just canceled it. I mean, which is obviously a different conversation, but the point is just that we are on an exponential curve in terms of progress. You talk to or listen to OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman. He's talking about GPT-5 being released this year, and that it will be the same kind of step up that GPT-3 to 4 was. And so we are going to just continue seeing massive improvements in intelligence. His kind of response to what can GPT-5 do, what's going to make it so much more amazing. And he just kind of jokingly says, but it's true, it's just going to be smarter, which is really what the goal is with this intelligence that all these researchers are trying to create. And that is going to allow companies to bring down costs. It's going to allow them to essentially inject automation into more of their processes that they're doing. And then additionally, have a better customer experience. There's one company that I like to kind of talk about, Klarna, that has been using an AI-powered chatbot for the last month or so, and they've estimated that they've reduced expenses and increased their profit by up to $40 million in 1 month. It's just incredible, honestly.
Ross, I think there's still some people I hear about all this, and there is a part of me that's like, yeah, well, I don't know. That doesn't really impact me and what I do. What would you say to the leaders who are thinking that maybe right now? Like, how important is this to everyone?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of companies that said, I don't need the internet. When e-commerce starts coming out, not really, not important to me. And some
Good
of those
point.
companies we don't see them anymore. And there's this phrase in AI that you will not be replaced by AI, but you'll be replaced by someone who uses AI. And I like to really, I see that as a true guiding principle that applies to companies as well. It's not that AI is going to do everything that your company does, but there are going to be AI first companies that seemingly come out of nowhere that can do the job of 100 people essentially, or process the orders that 100 people might have previously been needed to do. They're going to completely leapfrog any company that's not using AI. So what I'll say is that yeah, you can have your head in the sand. It's no problem. But one morning you will wake up and there will be a competitor that comes out of nowhere that has truly embraced this technology. They will have reduced expenses. They'll have lower turnover, more engaged employees because they're not doing repetitive tasks. They'll have higher customer experience, success in their customer experience. And then they'll also have more revenue generating opportunities. So that's kind of the direction I like to take it with the companies who may not be considering it as an important thing.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat that because I thought that was really valuable. Um, Reduced expenses, more engaged workforce, higher customer service, and revenue generating opportunities. I mean, that's a killer four right there if I got all four, but that's pretty powerful.
And
That's,
it's funny
go ahead.
because a lot of us, when we think about AI, it's just, okay, we're going to reduce expenses, which obviously on its own is valuable. But we've seen this now in the last year. Study after study shows, yes, it reduces expenses, but it also leads to a better customer experience. So Klarna is seeing this, that their customer support is now available in more markets, in more languages. They can reduce the time spent on solving tasks from 11 minutes with humans down to 3 minutes with AI. And additionally, it reduces repeat inquiries by 25%. So it's a better customer experience as well. And, I can go on and on with stats, but it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What about the whole question and concern about, and you mentioned it briefly, but about AI replacing jobs?
Hmm.
What would you give us a little bit more information on your thoughts about that and the companies that are concerned and employees that are concerned about that?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways to look at this. One is I obviously am very grateful and fortunate to be able to speak with CEOs every day. And I will say that most of them say we're not looking to get rid of headcount. In fact, we don't have enough skilled people today. We have a labor shortage essentially. And so they want to use AI not to replace anyone or remove any jobs. They want to do more with what they have. They want to get up to a good spot with what they're doing right now. So there's that. But on top of that, I truly do see the into artificial intelligence kind of as a new paradigm shift, just like when the computer came out.
Mhm.
So it's not that it replaces people's tasks. It doesn't replace people, but it changes what people are doing. So people will not necessarily need to be moving things around in spreadsheets. They won't have to do data entry. They won't have to do a lot of these things that were previously full jobs. Instead, they'll be more of orchestrating AI, assigning objectives, talking to AI, reviewing the output of AI, that kind of thing. So just in the same way that when the computer comes out, you do have to upskill, you have to reskill, you have to learn a little bit as the needs in the market change, I do believe it's going to be more of that kind of direction.
That's great. That's awesome. And when you come to the event, you're going to share a lot more detail about this as well.
Absolutely.
Beth, I know you wanted to have some questions as well for him.
Yeah, thank you. This is so fascinating. And I just have to share with you when you were talking about some of the things that AI is doing. Some of my CEO members have really been leaning into this. And one member, she was looking for a COO, posted ads, worked with an outplacement agency, had 150 resumes. And she said, holy cow, how am I going to go through that? So through utilizing AI tools, she was able to create a filter, and it turned out that it's like, okay, these are your top 5 people. And it's like, wow, it's
Yep.
amazing what it can do. We're so excited to have you. And once again, the event is going to be Wednesday, May 22nd from 7:30 to 11. And in addition to hearing um, all about AI, how can it really influence, impact, make you more competitive? We are also going to have an opportunity for you to experience a little bit about Vistage. And so, what is Vistage? Vistage is a membership organization that's all about empowering executives to be better leaders, making better decisions, and achieving better results. And obviously, from what you just heard, AI can help you give a hand up. And it's about having a peer advisory group. So we really invite you to join us on May 22nd. With that, so Ross, what would you say would be 3 to 5 key takeaways for those people that join us on May 22nd?
Mm. So first of all, I want to say I love getting questions during the talk.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be answering everyone's questions. So if you have, a burning AI question, please come, please ask your questions. I'm happy to dive into details on anything you're most interested in. So on top of that, we're going to look at the progress of AI and kind of where it's gone over the last year. And then I ask folks to project where do you think it's going to be in a year, essentially, given
Mm.
this rate of progress. Um, we'll start looking a little bit at how you can move your company. First of all, we'll look at how your company can benefit from using language models. We'll look at a couple of case studies and some studies by the Boston Consulting Group that have come out with clear stats about the efficiency improvement employees are getting. We'll look at how you can move beyond these language models into what are called autonomous agents. And so you can start to automate your task flow. So if you're feeling like, yeah, we want to take this a step further and automate our AR or AP, or we want to automate data entry or moving data between systems. We can talk about that. And then most importantly, I'm going to give a 5-pillared approach to how do you actually roll this stuff out? What do you need to know when you get back to the office? So we'll talk about strategy, policy, technology, and data posture. And then we'll talk about training and then establishing an AI culture, which I do believe is one of the most important.
That's fantastic because in spending time with the CEOs that I work with, the first question is, yeah, it all sounds good. How do I even get started? I don't even know where to lean in. I don't know the first thing to do. So it sounds like you're going to help create a AI roadmap with some tools and techniques, which leads me to share a little bit about what Kingo AI, how you work with companies.
Yeah, so we like to think of ourselves as a fractional AI firm. So we come into companies, we assist them with developing an AI strategy. We do analysis, kind of a forensics analysis of their workflow. We establish a policy, an AI use policy. We go over training, and then we can also assist with implementation. So there's a number of things we see with companies. One is that they don't know what to do, right? They're just, kind of overwhelmed. So there's too much information, not sure what the first step is. So we can come in and say, okay, here's where we've helped companies like yours in your industry, and here's where we found success. And then beyond that, some companies will say, okay, we know what to do, but we don't have enough time to implement any of this stuff. We're busy delivering on our contracts on a day-to-day basis, right? So
Absolutely. That you must have been in the room with me when I'm talking to my CEOs, because that's what they're saying, right?
yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, it comes up over and over. And so Kingo assists as kind of a driving force in your organization. We can own the AI initiative and make sure that it actually gets accomplished. And then thirdly, if you find yourself in the boat of, yeah, we know what to do, and maybe we even have the time to do it, but we just don't know how. What's kind of the technical steps that we need to take? We can also serve as an AI implementation firm, essentially. So we're slated as your full AI service that can help you get started and get you some ROI.
Terrific. And so it sounds like you're basically a CAI, a chief AI guru. So a whole new term, a fractional AI guy. So they don't have to have that expertise in their company. You can come in and, be their navigator. You can walk beside them, you can help them. And even if they have key people that are somewhat knowledgeable, you can assist them to level up their game.
And that's the real value in the sense that it costs a lot of money to hire a team that has expertise in AI, as employees to bring them all on. Obviously, with a fractional AI firm, you can get pieces of the skill set of our entire team whenever you need it. Yeah.
And the trajectory of this AI, it's so exponential. I mean, it's like every time I talk to you, Ross, it's a whole new ballgame. Something else is changing. And so, in fact, Tani, I have Ross joining us later this year because they all said, how often can we have Ross come to talk to us? Because it's changing so much. I look forward to being with you and Tani and many others on May 22nd, 7:30 to 11.
Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. I've got to get you on the list because I think you're booking up pretty quickly. I know my group wants to have you again. So again, I love this idea for all of you who are listening. You're used to hearing about fractional, CFOs, fractional CSOs, all kinds of fractional leadership. Now we're learning about fractional AI, CAIs, and Ross is your guy for that. So Ross, thank you for today. Great to be with you both, and we'll see you at our event in May.
Thank
See
you
you
both
later.
very much.